Hello, welcome back to jimmurphymp.com, a way of keeping in touch with local and national news. So any of you who live in Eaglesham or Waterfoot might recognise the scene behind me. I'm standing in Humbie Road and I'm here out looking just the area where, of course, the planning applications going in for these new houses, which myself and Ken McIntosh, the local MSP, have already joined local residents and registered our objection on the basis that the land that they're trying to use is already designated as greenbelt land in the local plan, and it doesn't make sense when there's so much brownfield land available for potential house building to start building on greenbelt. Developers shouldn't use as default first position building on greenbelt. So we'll continue to campaign, and hopefully the council will back the instinct of local people in the campaign that Ken and I are both involved in. Second thing is, thank you very much to everyone who's got in touch with their opinions about George Osborne's budget. Hundreds of you have returned the surveys that I've sent out asking for your opinions about the priorities for what should be in the budget. A lot of you online, many of you by post, so thanks for that. And then beyond Eaglesham and beyond the budget, of course the biggest news of the week is the election of a new Pope, Pope Francis. Now, I've kept out of a lot of the interviews that about the Catholic Church. Of course, many people know I am Catholic, but I've kept out of much of the interviews about this, particularly about the predicament of the Catholic Church in Scotland. But I think that what happened in Rome over the past few days surprised everyone. It's a really pleasant surprise for so many people across the world, including here in Scotland. The first Pope for perhaps 1,000 years from outside of Europe, the first ever Pope Francis, the first Pope from outside, from the, if you like, from the Americas. And those scenes in Rome during the week of the celebration is a real opportunity for the Catholic Church and a real opportunity for people of faith. Because what's striking about Pope Francis, not just that he chose the name Francis, or Francis of Assisi, it's remarkable. There's never been a Pope Francis, of course, in the history of the Catholic Church, but it's his modesty and the simplicity in which he lives his life. And you've read about it, I'm sure, and seen it on the news about the way in which he lived in a modest apartment, cooked all of his own food. The fact that after he was elected to be Holy Father, he returned to the small, the hotel at Bed and Bricks where he's staying in to pack his own bag and pay the bill, because he wanted to set an example for others. And I think that is an important example. He's washed, as I understand it, washed and kissed the feet of HIV/AIDS sufferers. And that's a really powerful symbol and image for faith more generally. Modesty, a humility, a care and a love for people who are suffering, that I think is a really significant message for the Catholic Church and for faith more generally. So, well, most of us didn't know him, we're getting to know him, and I think a lot of people are still trying to Google aspects of his life and what he believes. I think it's a chance to put fresh impetus into the Catholic Church, a reawakening of the Church, a reawakening of faith. Now, I'm not saying all of that as your Member of Parliament, because as a member of Parliament, these things, everyone has their own faith or lack of faith. I'm just saying this as an individual. I'm really pretty excited about it. It's giving people a chance to look again at the Catholic Church, and we'll look with great interest at how Pope Francis develops the Vatican and the Catholic faith over the next few months, and over what I hope, despite him being a man of pretty advanced years, hopefully over many years in the leadership of the faith. That's all just now. If you want to get in touch, do it in the usual way, by email, through Facebook, through getting down to the post office, buying a stamp, stick it in an envelope and writing to me at the House of Commons in London. Cheerio.